Well, I hope you guys can all hear me. Welcome to Late Night NASCAR Thunder ASMR. Seems we have 5 early birds to the stream. Let me know if the audio is okay and all that fun stuff, and then we will get started here because we are in for a fairly long night. So this is NASCAR Thunder 2003 running on PCSX2 version 1.6. These games I've always had, set up because they were a large part of my childhood, and every once in a while I like to revisit them and mess around with them with a modern sim setup because they still hold up extremely well. This was EA Sports at the peak of their critically acclaimed output. The games are incredibly polished, center around the golden years of NASCAR's Gen 4 era, beginning with NASCAR Thunder 2002, and then basically carrying on until the end of the PS2 era, with the last PS2 release being NASCAR '09. Please eat tinfoil close to the mic. Sure, I can do that for you. But anyways, on with the show. I follow the channel, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but Timeless Gaming. He does a lot of PS2 emulator gameplay. And I've been trying to get the 60 FPS patch to work with this game, but for whatever reason, following his settings exactly results in massive slowdown on the front stretch. So we're going to be playing this at just bone stock PCSX2 settings. Upscaled, of course, so it looks good, and it does look the part. I played this earlier just to test it out. And we're going to try and do a full distance race in this and actually take it somewhat seriously. No, like, esports try-hard antics, that kind of thing. So let's set this game up. I am running the widescreen setting inside the options menu, so this game looks pretty good. All the cars are the correct proportions. No driver's assists. Guess we should turn the leaderboard on. Just fine-tuning some of the sliders here. So this is one of the really cool parts about this game. Just as Madden and FIFA and NHL have difficulty sliders, NASCAR Thunder also does. Pretty neat. So we're going to set them up to hopefully go almost caution-free here at Daytona, because again, this is a long race. I don't want to be here all night. I had more luck running on Dolphin, and I agree. These games, these EA Sports NASCAR games, run a lot better and a lot more efficient on Dolphin, but the problem is no one's made like an unlock everything cheat for the GameCube version of Thunder 03. So I play on PS2. Race length, we'll crank that up to 100. Assists off, unlimited fuel and tires off, damage on, yellow flags on, then catch up turned off, but we don't really need to worry about that too much. This seems really hard to get working right on PSX2 or PCSX2. You need like a decent computer. I got a 1080 in my computer. It's an i7 770K, I believe. Or 7700. And again, it runs fine, but when you try and apply the what's it called? The 60 FPS patch that Timeless Gaming always uses for his videos, it gets a little haywire. So I have all the legends disabled. I have everything unlocked, but I disable some Thunder plates because I don't like racing against the legends all the time, at least. So who are we going to be for this very long race? Let's go with Robbie Gordon. Game has a ton of bonus content, ton of unlockables, but we will just be doing a basic full distance race around Daytona at night. Again, I'm not doing the full 500 because it does factor in the Gatorade 125 qualifying races, and we'd be here for a really long time if we did that, so we'll do the short July race instead. Yeah, we'll run auto, not a big deal. Crank up the tire pressure just a bit. Just want it to rotate a little better. And we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a tough call. Can't mess with the downforce at all. But anyways, let's get going. Qualifying, you don't have to drive out of the pits in this game. So we are green for qualifying here at Daytona. This game drives really good with the wheel, surprisingly. I run a USB plugin through PCSX2, so again, this is my proper sim setup. I'm not driving this with a pad or anything. Gotta figure out all the controls here. My car status indicator, my track map indicator are on the same button. Things that NASCAR Ignition does not have. Rear view mirrors on another button. Not a great opening lap here. Let's actually try and put down a good time. .22, not great. We should improve here, if I can hold the yellow line better. But we are going to go on a road trip here. With an average speed, I mean, if we're hitting 190 throughout most of the lap at 400 miles, this race will be just over 2 hours in length, one of the longer races I've done all year. Done a full distance F1 race the other night in F1 Challenge and got done around 80 minutes. This is a lot longer, but a lot simpler too. Put down a 47.9 in Robbie Gordon's car, qualifying 12th. Anyway, car actually felt not too bad. Take some more wedge out of it. And we should be good. So we'll enjoy the opening ceremonies here.
Tonight, it's super speedway action under the lights. MRN is live at the Daytona International Speedway this evening with flag-to-flag coverage of the Pepsi.
Yeah, this game looks great, Wabbit.
Here at this track, the teams seem to be all pushing themselves just a little harder this week.
There's no doubt about it. A lot of these NASCAR and Winston Cup drivers will tell you that it's really no different winning here than anywhere else. But those are the guys who haven't done it yet. Once their name is in the history books here, I guarantee you they'll change their mind.
Tony Stewart on pole, Michael Waltrip outside. It was incredible just the level of detail they put into this game. Like, even now, 20 years later, I got this game for my birthday when I was, I would have been 10 years old, maybe 11. And it blew me away. It still blows me away. I mean, it's completely timeless.
If you have to wait that long to pick up a win, you might as well make it a big one. And Sterling did with a win in the 1994 Daytona 500.
Mike Skinner was 1997's Rookie of the Year. Won both poles at Daytona and even got a win of sorts at the end of the year.
Well, that win was at an exhibition race in Japan. He followed it up with another win over there the next
Just
year.
like the detail and the texture work on the cars and the tires and the road surfaces are just wild. Even got a rough approximation of Victory Lane there, or at least the old Victory Lane. And we don't got a flyover today, we got fireworks. So the real winner of this race is Michael Waltrip, which is pretty cool that he's on the front row. What's the word I'm looking for? The driver ratings in this were like surprisingly accurate for their time. Nice little flyover of the grid. Even the little stuff like certain drivers weaving to warm their tires. And like, not everyone's doing it at the same time, but just the fact that it's there is crazy to me. Pontiac in the front row. Jimmy Spencer has a good effort with the Ganassi cars. I don't know how Shauna Robinson's that far up there. Craven and Jarrett. This is when Robert Yates was still a powerhouse. They had just come off a few years earlier winning the Daytona 500. Ryan Newman for Team Penske. Loads of PS2 games have way higher resolution textures than you'd expect. Way more than was needed for the native resolution the console can put out. Yeah, and like, it allows you to come back to these games and just be blown away. Like this looks better to me than like even some of the better mods for NASCAR 03. Just the lighting and the texture work and just the details. It's crazy. That's a nice shot of the backstretch. Look at that. Like, this is incredible. This is 20 years old. Gordon with a poor qualifying effort. Jimmy Johnson in his rookie season. Just outside the top 20 for the Hendrick squad. Couple of NASCAR Busch cars in this race because, again, EA never got the full field for their NASCAR games. They'd have to shoehorn. Before they start adding the different series, they would shoehorn in the Busch Series drivers to fill out the roster. So you have guys like Casey Kane in the 98. Just an interesting time capsule, really. So we're going to try and time it right here and come to the green, and hopefully we don't get caught in a mess. Let's go, boys. 400 miles. That's Greg Biffle behind us in his part-time entry for Roush Racing. Bill Elliott beside us in the 9. Got the Muppet Show paint scheme on it, so he'll look a little different for tonight's race. That's Kurt Busch in the 97, his sophomore season, and we're going to settle in here on the high line for the initial 2.5 miles. Spotter has cleared us. We can sneak in behind Newman, and we are going to come to complete lap 1 with not a whole lot going on, to be honest with you. And driving for Richard Childress Racing here. God, look at that sunset. This is crazy. Kurt Busch on our bumper now. I'm going to be toggling on and off the rearview mirror a lot because it does improve frame rate. Just a tad. So I don't really want to leave it on all the time. So I guess I'll have to do some fuel calculations here, hey? So we've done 2 laps. We start out with 22 gallons. Pit around lap 40, I'd think. Ricky Craven goes to the lead, followed by the Gibbs cars. Kurt Busch is going to go around us. Nice, easy way to start this race. And I've run a bunch of full distance races on iRacing at the restrictor plate tracks, and like, honestly guys, we're not doing anything for the first half of this race. I'm gonna hope the engine holds together because there is engine damage in this. And I'm not sure with the final drive adjustment I made if I went too aggressive on it, because I have blown up when I ran a race at Tiburon Speedway here about half a year ago. Gibbs car go to the lead. That's Tony Stewart taking over the lead from Ricky Craven. So we've had like 3 lead changes in as many laps. It's pretty good. Again, I did turn down the AI. Not in terms of raw pace, but in terms of some of the moves they make. To have less wrecks and just be more cooperative. Again, EA lets you do that in these games. Kind of neat. And we're really just hanging out, but You know what? We might have accidentally lost the draft. Fuck me. Oh, no, they're checking up a little bit. Let each other in. This is almost more like how the 2000 Daytona 500 played out. Because as you know, from '01 onwards, or I guess the fall of 2000 onwards, they started having the shark fin across the front of the roof. At least I think that's what they called it. To make this giant draft wake, and the cars would run in these like 3x3 packs. And it was just ridiculous. This is kind of playing out more like how it was in 2000, where the cars were really strung out. But I'm not complaining. I think the inside line's got to run here. Oh, Marlon's going to go for it. Oh, he's going to let us here. I know in real life this race did not go caution-free, so it'd be cool if we beat the overall running time. We're pulling away from the pack behind us. And that did happen in these races back in the day. There'd be like a main pack and then a separate pack. Wasn't bunched up like it is now with the Gen 7, where everyone's under a blanket. That's kind of dangerous. Starting to make moves now. Newman gave us a bit of a scare there. Again, that's not Ken Schrader in the 49, that's Shauna Robinson, who kind of paved the way for Danica Patrick in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think she was on Dale Jr.'s podcast a couple months back. That front pack is pulling away from us. I was a bit worried about that, but we might be able to make up the gap during pit stops. Not something I'm super concerned about. It's a lot of miles we got to go on. Newman almost pulls down in front of us going into one. Car is actually handling quite good. By default, the setups in this are designed for game pads. They're a bit tight. Nice and neutral on this one. Spotter's going to clear us. Shauna Robinson's going to lose the draft. Don't really know where to go here. God, this looks good. Spencer goes 3 wide around the Penske cars. Now, one of the things this game does to make things more user-friendly on the plate tracks is that there's an air bubble behind people's cars that kind of cuts your throttle. It's very similar to the drafting package in the Gen 7s and the Gen 6 cars, except it's in the Gen 4 cars, which is odd. So when I pull up to someone, I can't bump draft them. It basically cuts my throttle, or is an air bubble almost. So like, this is as close as I can get to the 12. Really wish this pack would kind of separate and string out, but oh wow, look at this run we got. So yeah, because there's an air bubble, you kind of have to time your runs to make sure you don't hit the air bubble before you slingshot around someone, otherwise you lose all your momentum. So it's this neat dynamic of there's like a precise moment where you can pull out. Now, what's interesting is I am benefiting a bit from the AI being behind me and drafting me. So ideally, I want to take the 97 all the way up to this lead pack. But we'll have to work on it for this, probably this whole first stint, really. Try and stay in front of him here. Oh, it didn't work. Trying not to accidentally turn myself on the 97's nose because it'd kill our momentum and this entire stint would be wasted. Just hanging out. Yeah, I won't be able to look at the chat a whole lot. Just because it is plate racing after all. But I encourage you to talk amongst yourselves. I do have live chat replay enabled, so I'll be able to see what you guys are saying after the fact. Almost like NASCAR Thunder ASMR. Good thing to fall asleep to. Kurt's actually flying here. You know what? I might let the 97 by. My car's got some speed. See if this actually benefits me. Yeah, everything's fine. I just want to follow the 97. The spotter in this is really good. Just the chatter and the comments he makes are... It's not like... It's not comedy. It's actually quite informative. Some games go a little too hardcore on the redneck stereotype, and it's not informative. Just a really well-made game overall. Yeah, that 97 car's flying. See if we can push him up to the front here. Is there no game audio? It's just turned down a whole lot, right? And there's really not a whole lot to hear anyway. It's just the constant drone of the car, especially when we're running single file like this. Just out for a cruise. So we're burning about 0.4 liters per lap. That's not bad. Just gotta remember to pit if it's 0.4 or less. Coming out of 4. Oh yeah, we're definitely catching the pack now. It's good shit. So interval is 3 seconds last lap. Yep, 2.7. We're getting about 0.3 per lap. That's good. Car is running great. Pack is really spread out, as you can see. Turn the mirror off, because, I mean, it's pretty much useless right now. So this stint is all about going to be catching up to that lead pack and trying not to lose the 97 car. .2 gain that lap. It's almost like everyone running side by side in that front pack. There's a lot of drag. Wonder if the game actually models that. But myself and Kurt running nose to tail here is definitely having an effect. And again, I'm just wide open behind him because the game models this weird air bubble. so I can't shove him up to the front, but this is what we're having to work with here. And we've caught the lead pack now. Making pretty serious ground. That's actually going to be our quickest lap of the race here, tandeming with Kurt. Race leader is the 18 of Bobby Labonte. Looks like Ricky Craven's in second. And then Tony Stewart in third. This would be Stewart's championship winning year. The first of his 3 championships. Who else is in that pack? Looks like Kevin Harvick, Michael Waltrip, and Dale Jarrett. God, this looks good. Even like the reflection on the windshield of the support bar. Yeah, I guess tandeming with the most recent real-life race winner. Man, if you would have told me when I was a kid that like in 20 years some of these guys are still going to be driving and winning races, it's like, wow, like what happened? But that's kind of the beauty of auto racing, is that there's no age, you know, where your skills fall off. I really don't want to abandon the 97 here. $140 to go. Tires are really not wearing at all. Although it's not advisable to take 2 tires during a stop here. It is in career mode. Wow, Kurt is flying. Part of me wants to just coast here, and after I push Kurt up, to just go like half throttle. See if I can see how much I can save. Because we're at the lead pack now, and we've broken away from the rest of the pack. Just looking at the track map, it seems like there's, I would say, 4 packs. There's ours, then a gap, then pack B, then a small gap, then pack C, and it looks like probably Mike Skinner or somebody's way off pace there. Oh wow, look at the speed we're hitting here. 195 into the corner. It's too bad it's not a sim and I can't use telemetry to see how much I save by like lifting in the draft like this. On a nice casual cruise. Gibbs cars are leading a ton of laps right now. I do wonder if there's code in the game where like teammates recognize each other, because EA was so detail oriented at this point in time that who knows what kind of stuff they were doing to make these games just super authentic. Ricky Craven hung out to dry. Look at this. It's classic Gen 4 racing. All the cars nose to tail. feel like I'm saving a bit of fuel, but who knows. So it looks like just based on how much fuel we got left, we'll be pitting around like lap 50. Be like a 3-stop race. It's not bad. How did NASCAR games go downhill after NASCAR 07? They just weren't making EA as much money, and a lot of the NASCAR team moved on to Madden. So the masterminds behind why these games were so detail-oriented and polished moved on to just bigger and better career opportunities within Tiburon Entertainment. Because remember, yes, these games are under the EA banner, but EA has several different studios under the EA Sports conglomerate. So Madden, NCAA, and NASCAR were under a Florida-based team called Tiburon. And guys just moved on, took jobs elsewhere, either within the company or working on different projects. Couple cars down pit road already. Got one green dot sitting in the pits. I'm not sure if they blew up or not. It's interesting to see. Because doing the math, it'll be a 3-stop race. We put on 50, 100, and then 150. The race is 160 long, right? One thing I've noticed, and I think I saw someone mention it in the chat, I'm trying to look over and read on the straightaways. There is progressive, like, time in this. You know, so we started with a bright orange sunset. It's going away now. It's actually progressing into full nighttime. Like, there's just an unreal level of detail in this game. And the driving physics aren't half bad either. Like, it's definitely simple. It's no NASCAR 03 where the car's got like a bunch of weight to it and you gotta really nail your braking points on every corner, but like, it's not bad. It's just simple. The FFB is really not bad either. You go into like a banked corner like here at Daytona and you can feel the wheel load up a bit. It's not like super nuanced, but it's there. It doesn't ruin the game for me. It's just sort of there and it exists. I think we're halfway on fuel. Maybe we need to pit at lap 60. That's gonna be fucking close. Ideally, that would be better for us if we pit on like 60, 1 and 120. It'd be a 2-stop race, which would be pretty good. What's not good is I let off because I was trying to time my run on the pack. And they seem to have gotten away from me, so that's not good. Yeah, I've lost the draft. That's not good. It was like I feathered the throttle at the wrong time. Yep, crew chief's starting to scream at me that Losing ground. So based on what happens with this gap, I might need to take 2 tires just to realign myself with them. Oh man, they are flying. Wow. Yeah, depending on your fuel consumption, you can probably do a 2-stop. That might be the play. Stop on between 58 and lap 60. But we also have to contend with yellow flags here too. Yeah, like I lifted at the wrong time, and the motor lost the momentum I had. And just right at that time, they all kind of aligned and shot away. So that's not good. But we have a very long race, so we're going to come back. What would be really handy right now is a yellow. This is incredible. They are flying right now. One car in the pits. Don't know who it is. Pit road speed limit is a blisteringly fast 70 mile an hour. So what I might do, I think it's this button. Yeah, we actually seem to be okay. What I might do during the pit stop is I'll take 2 tires, full tank of fuel, and then I'll add like a round of wedge in. So that way if the lefts do wear over the next fuel stint, I'm not like completely shit out of luck in terms of handling. What's interesting is I got this other pack catching me. So if they get here in time, we could draft all the way up. And potentially be one big pack by the end of it. Like, this game's cool like that. Nobody wants to draft with Robbie Gordon. Understandable. I do have yellow flags on, but Rex are turned down, so this will be a very quick 400 miles. Halfway through the ARCA distance, so I think ARCA only runs 70 laps here. We're at 35. You know what? When we pit, I don't think I should take 2 tires because it would put me on track by myself. And I'd rather be in the draft for the whole stint, running 190, than by myself running 186. Five seconds back, that's not good. Can't believe how quick they pulled on me. Game says I have damage on the right side. I don't think I touched anyone all race yet. Interesting. Yep. Pack 3 is catching me. Definitely have a big pack of cars catching me right now. Oh, I can't believe how spread out people are here. Is that the moon? That's the moon. That's the moon. It's fucking huge, but it's the moon. Bros, the moon is out. Here's a question. Shouldn't, as I'm losing fuel, or burning fuel, shouldn't I be getting quicker as the car lightens up? Been running 186 for a while now. That's the moon. And the moon's coming up, too. Wow. See, I need that pack to catch me. I need... Okay, so I can play this okay with a 2-tire stop. That pack needs to catch me, then I need to gain 2 seconds on the leader and go in to the pit stop with a 5-second delta. Taking 2 tires instead of 4 will shave 5 seconds off, and I'll cycle out with the leaders. Okay, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm aware the leaders are trying to drive away. Lap 42, 25% of the way through the race. Yep. The moon is out. We're burning 0.3 gallons per lap. We don't need to come in for like 15 laps. Car is, maybe it is lightening up. I hit 187 on the backstretch there. The other thing is too is once lap cars start coming into play, can draft off of them. It's just a very boring part of the race right now. 8 seconds, wow. We are so slow right now. Although they did say we're gaining on the leader. I don't know what's happening there. Need that pack to catch me. Look, a mirror in a NASCAR game. Wow, yeah. It's just crazy how you can play this and there's just so many little things it does over NASCAR Ignition. Come on, this pack's got to get there. Worst case scenario for stint 2, I just double up with somebody. Yeah, I apparently have right side damage. I never hit anyone all race though. Bit confused on that. Wow, a gap of almost 10 seconds now. They must be flying in a pack. Like, silly. It looks like that's Ryan Newman leading the second pack that's finally coming up on us. Leaders are pitting. Come on, Newman, you gotta get here. Tires are completely fine so far. So I guess I would change just the right sides to make up time. Who is pitting? Looks like that's Dale Jr. that peeled off. Come on, Newman, get here. Every little bit counts at this point. Blowing by some of the back markers. Looked like that was either Elliott or Mayfield. Wonder if Newman and Marlin are going to pit. We'll see here. And they are. So it looks like the 5 and Matt Kenseth are over here. It's going to really mess up the running order. Wow. No, that's Elliott in the 17 of Matt Kenseth behind us. Take some air off the rear wing. Looks like they're going to stay out with us. I don't need to pit. I'm looking at the fuel gauge. $110 to go, almost a third of the way through the race. Again, I'd really like to stretch this if I could. Finally making up ground with a drafting partner. 190 down the backstretch. Yeah, just having one person behind you is like a instant speed boost, which is how it should be. Looks like the leaders are actually on the same strategy we are. Okay, 8.4 back. So what I gotta do now is I gotta get to within 5 or so, or just really nail pit entry. Then take 2 tires and we'll be okay. We'll double stint the left sides, take 4 tires in the final stop, and we should be okay. Nope, stay behind me. Need you. I can see Elliott peeling off here. Where is he? Is he actually by us? Where'd the 9 go? Ricky Craven, your leader. I don't know where the 9 went. I do wonder if these guys are trying to run light at the end. Craven goes in the pit. Yep. We'll pit now. Perfect entry. Don't need lefts. Don't need damage. Let's go. I don't know where I got the damage from. I've got the field, but the problem is I'm not running in the draft, so every time I stay out, not in the draft, it's an issue. You know what? There's Ricky Craven right there. I gained on him. Okay, I need a dancing partner now. And there they are. They're actually right behind me. This might have been okay. So this entire stint, we're just going to tandem with somebody. Go up to the leaders. Should be okay. Yeah, you know what? This will work. Wow, the car is definitely heavier. Or we're just not spooled up yet. I can also feel the force feedback on new tires is slightly heavier than late in the run. It's interesting. So we've actually cycled out back to 8th place, which is where we were before. Is the track cooling off? We're hitting 188 now. Does this game model that? That would be kind of neat. Okay, they need to catch me. Or we need a yellow, one of the two. But the fact that the AI can draft together in this game and not in NASCAR 21 is, like, sad, but really funny. It thinks I'm catching them, but I'm not. I mean, I guess I could run the high line. They'd get here a bit quicker. Let's do that. I'm not actually losing as much ground as you'd think. Only 4/10 per lap as opposed to like a second per lap, so let's get the 24 up here. So I'll let one car by and I'll just push him for the rest of the stint. Because engine heat's not really a thing in this. I mean it is, but it's all about where you run rev-wise, as opposed to like whether the nose is covered or not. Yeah, here's the 24 now. Okay, you gotta go by. Like you have to go by now. Not waiting any longer. I fucked up. Or have I? Holy shit, we are flying. Gordon got shuffled out too. Okay, we need a breakaway. This is kind of suboptimal right now. We're too draggy when we run like this. $14 back. This is a problem. Suddenly, we just get an ass ton of speed here. You know what, the Ganassi cars are pretty quick back in the day on plate tracks. Nope, he's not moving though. I need a partner. Badly. Will it be the 9? That'd be kind of neat. Guess not. That was a cheeky move. Don't do that again. We're gaining time. It's good. That 40 needs to get out in clean air. And we'll just check out from that point. This might not be a bad place to be now if I can just push the 40. Use that air bubble. Yeah, we're catching them. Good. I think that 27 car ahead of us, it's a Busch car, it's Jamie McMurray. Marlon's going to get in his draft and probably pull out, hopefully. No. Yep, there we go. Okay, you got to clear me now. Thank you. So we should be there in 27 laps. Does that sound right? Sure. McMurray, even though he's a lap down, seems to have a good car in the draft. See, started launching a pass on me. Suboptimal. Oh, that 27 car is flying up on us. Handling-wise, we're doing pretty good. Remember, this is before Daytona got repaved. And there are a bit of bumps throughout the track. It's not, like, super noticeable, but it's definitely there. And I think around a wedge put into the car is making it nice and snug through the corner. It's really easy to hold a line. Yeah, now myself and the 40 have checked out from the back. More people are pitting? What the fuck is happening here? See who actually came in. I don't really understand that call, but okay. Okay, one car came in. Maybe they're blown up. Because it happens in this game. Hey, I have random mechanical failures. And it's done in a really intelligent way, too. Like, they'll start smoking, and then you have about 3 seconds to get the fuck out of the way before they pull off. Or lose fire. I didn't particularly catch who that was. I'm contemplating letting the 27 go. Serious, because he's just all over me. Gap's down to 12 seconds yet. We're making time. Just a bit. Pretty cool that right now we appear to be the quickest cars on the track. Gap was 12.1 last time. We're down to 11.6, so we're going to be there in 20-some laps. We're going to catch the leaders before the next round of pit stops. It's good. Almost at the halfway point of the race. Thank you for sticking around for late night NASCAR Thunder ASMR. Not the most eventful race we got going on here. The Gibbs cars are swapping the lead. There's a 7-car breakaway, or what appears to be a 6-car breakaway at the front of the pack. We lost the draft early on. I was trying to feather the throttle and save fuel, and basically at the wrong time the pack all gained momentum and pulled away from me. So we're leading right now what appears to be a very loosely connected second pack. But we have a giant head of steam and are like quickly catching the leaders. And we're in good company. Again, EA did model driver attributes, so we've got the 40 of Sterling Marling ahead of us, Dale Jr. behind us, Gordon behind him. So these are the cars I want to be around. And there is a bit of a strategy to letting certain cars go because they do gain speed over a run. Certain cars are just faster paced than others. But Marlin had a good car in the early 2000s. Almost won the 2002 Daytona 500, if not for touching his car under red flag conditions. He should have won the race. Probably should have won the championship too. It was really his last great season of his career. Back when Ganassi was still a relatively new team. Dodge had just come back into the sport. So we're hooked up with the 40 car for that reason. But I almost wonder if Junior gets around us, will he run a bit quicker? We've seen some cool stuff this race. We got to see the pre-race intro, which some of you guys are kind of young and haven't seen it before. We got to see dynamic time of day. We started with a pretty bright orange sunset. We're now fully under the lights. A couple cars have pulled off into the pits, retired. There are retirements in this game. And we have surpassed the ARCA race distance. I forgot to point that out a few laps ago, but this is pretty much as far as ARCA runs whenever they race at Daytona. I don't actually know how long we've been driving for. It looks like the pack behind us is significantly split up. And what's really good is if one of us blows up, whether it be the 24, the 8, or the 40, we do have cars in this pack that we can still hook up with, so we are making pretty good time. I think 16 laps till we'll catch the lead pack, so we'll get them around lap 90. Or so, I'd say. Got a little bit of a stutter there, boys. Remember, we are playing on an emulator, so this could all be invalidated with the program running out of memory. Stupider shit has happened. You know what? I'm going to let the 8 car go. That 8 car is quick. Yep, get going. So we'll see if we run a quicker lap time behind Dale. I think, yeah, we are. That car is 2 mile an hour quicker. Cool. Look at this, yeah, we're stuck at... That's cool, it models that. We're only doing about 189 to 190 behind Sterling Marlin, and he's dropping like a rock. And just identifying how good the car was in the draft, we pull up behind Dale, we're gaining way more speed. All 3 Chevys in a line. I wonder if they modeled that. No, I'm going to chop Gordon here. We need to stay hooked up like this. We are making a crazy amount of time right now getting hooked up with the DEI car. Down to 6.9 seconds. Nice. 192 into the corner again. Behind Marlin, we only did about 190, and he is gone. I think he might have some engine problems. It might model that for the AI. That over the course of a race they fall off. There hasn't been a lot of investigation into how this game works compared to NASCAR 03 on the PC, because it's a closed console game, right? Can't dive into its code and like the car files and stuff like that like you can with the Papyrus games. But I mean, you guys have watched this play out over 30 laps now. I followed a Dodge, it ran X speed. I'm following a Chevy now, it runs Y speed. So 6.9 last lap, down to 5.9. 1 second per lap we're gaining. Wow. We're back in it. Halfway on fuel. Really detailed spotter too. Again, it's not a redneck spotter. I have the game audio pretty low, but the fact that he called out the 24 car is gaining on you. Just a really detailed spotter. The Papyrus games, I think, only call like car inside clear. But here they're like, hey, this guy's looking to pass. Or he's got a run on you. These guys were really ahead of their time. Down to 4.6. Gap between us and the leaders. Man, that 8 car is flying. Holy shit. It's not running the line I want him to. but it'd be like that. And even the RPMs, I got about 100 more RPM behind that DEI car. Yeah, we're making ground, boys. What is happening here? Everyone just fucking checks up on the backstretch. Wow, did someone blow up? Looks like it. We're up to 4th now. That's Craven in front of us. I think the 32 car is for position. But we all got damage in that. Interesting little hiccup there. That'll be a little more time in the pits. What is happening? Is the 16 blowing up? We just lost time to the leaders. That kind of fucked us there. That 32 is a quicker car. The 16's a lap down. We need to get Ricky Craven by. God, yeah, that was bizarre. Up to 4th place now, though. Some good cars got caught up in that. No yellow because no one was sideways or there's no debris or anything. But I could have done without fucking up the hood. Halfway. So again, I'll repair the damage, obviously. I don't think the right sides or the left sides are wearing at all. So I might, again, do a 2-tire stop, full tank of fuel, and then, because a regular 4-tire stop is 16 seconds, 2 tires is usually 10 or 11. Probably 11 with damage. All I need to be is within 5 seconds of the leader when we pit, and that's going to be doable just with the rate we're gaining right now with Ricky Craven here. Fuck, that sucks. I really wanted to work with Dale Jr. That would have been neat. This works too. Seems like the 32 car. Fuck, what team is that? It's not MB2. It's a fairly small team from back in the day. And we are flying up on the leaders again. Even with our somewhat junked car. We'll see the damage in the pits, though. But yeah, halfway. Holy shit. But another 27 laps till we got a pit. Just eyeballing it here. 27-28. And then it'll be a sprint to the finish, and wherever we are is what we've got to work with. Gap down to 4.9 seconds now. And Jarrett's like looking inside, but he needs to stay in a line. Again, I turned their aggression down to hopefully promote what's it called? Longer, more docile draft trains. Just because we are going a full distance race and I don't need giant wrecks every couple of laps. For the most part, it seems to have worked, but the 88 still is poking his nose in every corner, and I don't like that. Coming up on Bobby Hamilton, who passed away a pretty long time ago. This might have been his last full-time NASCAR Cup Series season. And then he spent a couple of years in the Truck Series just kicking people's asses. That's the Square D Schneider electric car. He only ran that black and green scheme for, I think 2002. From 01 and then onwards afterwards in 03, and then the rest of his truck career he ran the blue and yellow car. Or was that Kenny Wallace who ran the 55 car in 2001? I think that was Kenny Wallace, because he pushed Earnhardt to the win, right? Or no, Kenny Wallace would have been in that car in 2000. And then Hamilton took over in 2001. Looks like Dale Jarrett peeled off. Interesting. Don't really need to yet. I mean, it's literally not time for pit stops. Getting like a slight amount of frame drops just because there's so many cars on screen now. Harvick's in second. I don't know who's leading right now. But there's this pack of back markers with what looks to be Casey Kane and Frank Kimmel in it. And then the pack in front of that, so the farthest one on your screen is the lead pack. Craven touched the apron there. Don't do that again. I need you, my man. I think it'd be pretty sweet to go caution-free in this. Just wondering when the right time is to branch off from the 32 and suck up to the main pack. I don't think yet. Only 2.2 back from the race leader. Oh, and you know what? Nope. It's the 18 leading this race is in this little pack here, with Harvick in second. So this is for the lead here. Just going to weave through these back marker cars, which we can probably do. Elliott Sadler in the Wood Brothers 21. That's Ken Schrader in the 36. Frank Kimmel, who was, I think he only attempted like 3 races in that 46 car in 2002. Somehow made it into the game. That's kind of neat, because he ran that advanced auto parts scheme for like years. See if we can monkey swing through all these back markers. Much bigger hole punched through the air with his pack. Yeah, up to 192. Elliott Sadler is going to give us some drafting help. Kevin Harvick, that's for second place. Casey Kane holds up the 29. We're going to stick with Casey Kane on the bottom. in his number 98 Bush car from eons ago. I am not clear. What are you talking about? Oh, maybe I am. So that, what I presume to be the 18 car is the leader. This is playing out like a 70s or an 80s race right now. Just like everyone massively spread out, hiding in packs of lapped cars. Trying to get the 29 to take the air off my spoiler and build our speed just a bit. It seems to be working. You can notice the draft meter pop up to about a quarter full whenever he's behind me. Yeah, Bobby Labonte is your leader right now. Seems like the 29 is going to help us just a bit. He's being a bit erratic, and I don't like that. Yeah, I guess the 29 can go by, whatever. I don't really disagree with that. No, he's going to pull off. That's interesting. Am I within drafting distance here? Yeah, I'm just barely picking it up. Off the Bill Davis car award Burton. And Labonte's going to go through that whole mess. So what we could do is we could probably weave through this pack just because we're an intelligent human and these are bots. Pick what appears to be Jimmy Spencer at the front of the pack. Pull away, and then that'll bank us some delta compared to second place to repair our damage on pit road. I'll still stick with the 2-tire stop. I might even put another turn of wedge in just to prepare for the left sides fucking me. Because I don't think I'll be able to triple stint the left sides without them wearing. Oh, Labonte goes in. But we can go a whole like extra 15 laps on this tank. Then we'll be good to the end, so I don't know what he's doing. And sitting in this pack running over 190 is going to build up a bank of time over whoever's in second place. Yeah, right sides are going down. These guys might be pitting. I really don't want them to pit because I don't want to be kind of suckered out of here. Half are going in. That'd be Nadu and Ward Burton going in. So right now we got this backmarker pack of Scott Wimmer, Shane Hall, I believe 4 is Mike Skinner this season, and then Jeremy Mayfield in his first year driving the number 19 for Evernham. They're not going to be very quick cars, but just the fact that we can stay in the draft and build a bank of time over P2 is important. So we got to be out here for 15 laps still. Again, the fuel burn rate is like 0.3 to 0.4 gallons per lap. So when you see 5 gallons, it's about 15 laps to 16 laps of fuel. Mayfield drops off. Yeah, we're going to be okay. Ricky Craven stayed out. Ricky Craven seems to be running the same strategy we are, which is kind of intelligent on the part of the AI. Looks like to be Jimmy Johnson on the inside, following Rusty Wallace. Whatever we do, though, we cannot lose this pack. So we need to stretch our fuel. We need to be running above 190. And it looks like we're actually going to lose Mike Skinner here. Same with Shane Hall. Nope, just Skinner. He's going to pull off, so we are stuck with the rookies, and it looks like Ricky Rudd is leading this small pack of cars. I'll go with Wimmer. This car actually ran pretty well. I think he had like an unreal performance at Atlanta this season. Ran like an unsponsored car and just qualified absurdly well, and it was supposed to be like an ARCA car. They're at the time they were legal for the Cup Series, I think. So guys would try and qualify for both races in the same car. And it looks like they're actually going to be pitting here. Usually that's what that twitch onto the bottom line indicates. Yeah, there they go. You tend to spot stuff like that when you've played these games for how long? Problem is, now we're left without a partner. But we might get lucky in that cars merging out of pit lane here. We'll be able to hook up with. Who is that? Matt Kenseth? Might be. Yeah, we're going to hook up with Matt Kenseth here. So we are saved to some extent. Come on, just got to get to his bumper. There we go. I'm from the future. You win the championship next season. Don't ask me how I know. So again, building up a bank of time over P2. Lap 160 to go, so we're going to try and use these next, what appears to be 9 laps, to pull away from the 32 Ricky Craven. A very unlikely set of drivers in this race, competing for top spot. Gibbs cars were dominant early on. Seems they got shuffled in the pack. There was that weird pseudo incident we had on the backstretch. That checked up a pack of cars. Looks like Kenseth's actually got some damage here. Yeah, I'm aware the leaders are pitting, but like we don't need to, bud. Our old drafting partners with Sterling Marlin there. I think he got caught in that shuffle. Or no, I ditched him for Dale Jr., I think. Yep. Fuck you, I can read my own fuel gauge. Don't need to come in yet. We're at 2.7, it burns 0.4 per lap. If we're being on the safe side. Don't need to pit for a while. And like, we're just barely going to stretch it to the end. It's kind of impressive that we could do this on 2 stops. Yeah, I think I put too much wedge in here because it's nuking the right front. So I'll take half a turn of wedge out. Right side tires, full tank of fuel, fix the damage, we'll be okay. Oh wow, no, hold on, we gotta get 4 tires. Didn't realize the left front was worn like that. Okay, that's fine though, because again, we're building up a bank. It's not giving me the tire is very worn warning yet. And it's just the left front that's red on the indicator. So that's not the worst thing yet. We'll be pitting in the next few laps anyway. Wow, look at all these Fords here. Well, I guess I can do this then. Yeah, look at the speed. 194 going into the corner. I mean, we had to back out of it for these cars, but that's okay. Holy shit. Draft train of 4 cars and speed just shot up. Fuel tank almost empty. Yes, I'm aware. We got like 2 more laps. We're fine. So it won't be this lap, it'll be probably next lap. Cutting it pretty close, admittedly. You know, I could realistically push it for 1 more lap, but I'm just not stupid. I think we got enough to last us to the end. Just barely got in, holy shit. Tires, yep. Well, it is a straight shot to the end from here. Fix the damage. How are we still in first? I don't understand. Holy shit, getting freight trained. Okay, let's tuck in behind the second Bill Davis car. Labonte's back in the picture, but wow, we played that pretty well. Cool, the Bill Davis cars are working together. Holy shit, look at the speed. So that 18 car is 4 position. That's not Kyle Busch. That would be Bobby Labonte. I honestly should have tried for that extra lap of gas. I don't know how close we're going to be. We should be okay, though. This is really kind of how the 04 Daytona 500 played out, with just like a small pack of cars up front. But we were making great time for a 400-mile race. 50 to go. Ourselves in second, Ricky Craven behind us, Bobby Labonte leads. It's interesting he's running the high line here. But again, we just have really a straight shot to the end of the race. Don't think we need to stop for fuel at all. We shall see. Okay, you need to pass a wrecked car. Like, come on. We're doing 170, bro. If there's another wreck, or if there's a first wreck that brings out a yellow, I'll pit, and we'll for sure make it. And I won't even put tires on, it'll just be a splash of fuel. In-car view is nice, well thank you. Going around Casey Kane. There's actually a really interesting bit of trivia in this game. The 98 car in this is supposed to be Elton Sawyer. They put in Casey Kane at the last minute because I guess he ran a couple Busch races in that car that year. But they didn't change Casey Kane's birthday to his actual birthday, so he's a 47-year-old rookie or something like that. So when you go through career mode, and this game has like the driver retirements and ride swapping at the end of each season, Casey Kane retires after, like, the beginning of the first season, or the end of the first season, I should say. So instead of him, like, taking over a modern cup ride and, you know, being one of the guys you have to run against in career for the better part of 10 to 15 years, or however long you play, it's like, Casey Kane is a rookie. Casey Kane is retired. If you could mod this game, or if you could bust into the ISO, it would be really interesting. Not just to update like car textures and stuff like that, and add some of the drivers they forgot, but like to fix little gremlins like that. I think we're on 45 to go. 22 races in the 898 car. Okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, the game uses Elton Sawyer's birthday for him. So it's an oops. A big oops. Pretty surprised the engine's held up again. I went for a shorter final drive. And this game does have a thing where if you run the RPM too high, the motor can blow. Seems to be holding up alright. I know I tried going really aggressive at Tiburon Speedway when I fucked around with this game. Last fall, I think, in preparation for NASCAR 21. Which, of course, ended up being a waste of time. And I think I blew up at Tiburon like 40 laps into the race. I think the magic number on non-play tracks is like 8,800 RPM. Pulling away from Ricky Craven behind us. Still think drafting with Dale Jr. was quicker. We're only hitting 191 with Labonte. Coming up on, I guess that's Shane Hall and Jerry Nadeau. Nadeau in the 4th Hendrick car. This is back when Hendrick was still largely a growing team. I mean, they had Gordon as their primary driver, but Labonte was kind of in the limelight of his career. He'd won the championship once in the mid-90s with Hendrick, but it was mostly the Jeff Gordon show. It's not like it is now where any one of those cars can win on any weekend. Man, I hesitated for a second because it looked like they're going to check up, and Labonte just left me. That's how I got hung out the first time. We've learned from our mistakes, though. Pulling up behind Shane Hall. Now we've got like a small pack going. That's Biffle in the 16. Did he actually attempt any races in 2002? Because I know those schemes are real, but like, did they go unused? I mean, I presume he ran a few times in 02. It's like a Volvo truck scheme. And then I believe there's like a TNT car as a secondary scheme in this. Yeah, the 25 car has always had just like a random assortment of drivers, because again, Hendrick was still a growing team at the time, right? Even though they dominated so much with Gordon, it was really like the Jeff Gordon show with a couple supporting characters. Nowadays, it's like, oh, we have the 2020 Cup champion, we have the 2021 Cup champion, we have Alex Bowman, who will be around for a very long time. We have William Byron, who is winning, you know, a couple races each season. Hendrick back in the 90s and early 2000s was like, here's Wally Dolan back in the 25. Here's Jerry Nadeau, who won, I think he won once at Atlanta on like a fuel mileage thing. And then just never panned out. And then, of course, he unfortunately got hurt before like we could really see like where his career would properly end up. He was going to be like a Jeremy Mayfield type guy, running like 10th to 25th every race and just kind of hanging out mid-pack. That was actually the quickest lap of the race, 47.124. less than 40 laps to go. This is less the distance of like an A fixed race. Just trying to save fuel right now. Mostly by running in the draft. I think we'll have enough though. I don't see why we wouldn't. By my count, we have between 40 and 45 laps of fuel left, and there's only 37 laps in the race, so we should be like 3 laps clear. We shall see. Car's actually starting to lighten up. We hit 193 on the backstretch there. Quickest lap of the race, 47 flat. These were during the cool Joe Gibbs years. Like, I'm not a fan of Kyle Busch. And I'm not a fan of Toyotas, but this is when they were still like kind of like a GM-oriented team and they had veterans for their drivers. Like, I mean, you had Bobby Labonte, who won a Cup championship in 2000. All-around nice guy in the sport. Tony Stewart had been driving them for a few years. Wins the championship in the season this game depicts. And was already just this unreal hotshot from sprint car racing and the IRL. Won 2 IRL championships. Had been in NASCAR for a few seasons and was like instantly like a Hall of Famer. Like, everyone kind of knew even back in the day that this Tony Stewart guy was unreal. He was like Kyle Larson version 0.1 beta, if that makes sense. Like, he was the early 2000s Kyle Larson, or I should say the late 90s. And everyone just kind of knew that, like, yeah, this guy's unreal. Whereas now Joe Gibbs is like, okay, like it's Truex, who was really Dale Jr.'s friend from the Busch series in the early 2000s. It's Kyle Busch, which is a driver that kind of rubs people the wrong way. It's just not very likable. Christopher Bell's probably the only one I like from Gibbs. And then the satellite team of 23XI, which is Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace. Just this weird hodgepodge of drivers. But back in the early 2000s, Gibbs was a really cohesive unit. Likeable drivers, talented drivers. Of course, something we don't talk about a whole lot is just how primary sponsors stuck around back in these days, you know. Interstate Batteries was on the car all 38 races. They had a nice like brand going. Nice liveries, nice everything. We have caught Jamie McMurray again. Coming up on 30 to go. Very soon anyway. Car actually freed up off the corner there. Interesting. I'm curious to see if that 18 needs to pit again. That would seal the race for us. Yeah, we gotta get around McMurray. Okay, you can go. Okay. You're not gonna pass the 27. I'm gonna tandem with the 27. Here, let's really rub it in our poor bot's faces. That 27 needs to drop down in front of me, which he might do that here. We can check out with a lapped car. I am fully on board with humiliating our bots. Let's go. Oh wow, he's slow. 186, he tops out at 187. That's not good. Okay, you gotta get around him, man. Like, kind of driving like a BR right now. Please, bro. Like, please. Go. I don't want to lift because, like, I'll get left in the dust again. Got pretty close to the wall there. Okay, like, if you're not going to pass him, then 30 to go. Okay, I'll take you with me. It's fine. Like, did I have to spoon feed that to you? Come on. Shauna Robinson actually qualified really well for this race, so maybe I can hook up with the 49. That'd be funny. Looks like she's trying to let me by, but not doing a great job of it. The 27 got into the 18? Wow. Seems there was a wreck in the middle of 3 and 4 based on those skid marks, but they never threw a yellow for it. Interesting. Less than 30 to go. Really, the best thing that could happen right now is a yellow, because then we'd all end up making it on fuel. I will say, if we do have to pit again, splash and go, 100%. No tires, no damage repair, just put in like half a can. I think we should be okay though. So we are on 25 to go. that sponsorless dodge looks like when you start a new career and barely have any sponsors. No, but in this game you almost always get sponsorship from Kmart and Windcraft Sports to start out with. I seem to remember that. There's another one too. It's like We Care. Nikon camera is another one. Okay, we're 10-5 at the line. Curious if we're going to make it on fuel or not. It's going to be tight. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna make it. I'm an idiot. Guess I can save though. It's kind of interesting. You know what? If I sit back here, I run quicker. Instead of always being up all over the guy's grill. Like, the draft wake is so big that, like, back here, I just punch it for, like, a half second. Already 192. I think we're going to be like 5 laps to the clear. It'll be close, but we'll be okay. People got a splash and go. Hmm. I am trying to lift and save a bit behind the 18. I don't know if fuel burn rate is tied into throttle application or RPM. So we shall see. But we are in position to win the race, so that's good. 17 to go. And it looks like almost everyone's having to pit again. So if we played our cards right, we might lap the whole field. It's pretty cool. Gonna have dreams about interstate batteries tonight, that's for sure. We are extremely far ahead of Ricky Craven. More people going to the pits. Uh, 18 might be pitting. That's pretty significant. 18 is pitting. So at this rate, hopefully we could lap everybody, and we've got enough fuel. I don't know if guys are calculating, but it's literally like 0.35 gallons per lap. Yeah, we should be good. I'm fucking stressing over nothing. Nice thing is we should get some drafting partners out of this. As people come out of the pits. Making great time, though. We're probably going to go caution-free with this. More cars pitting. This is like a 1970s style race. He can see the air get a cup ride right now. Hire me, Dale. Come on, Dale. But I don't need to come in. There's 10 to go, and I'm actually like 0.2 gallons to the clear, it looks like. Maybe. Lead cars are pitting? What are you talking about? Ooh, someone blew up on the backstretch here. That's John Andretti. If he stops or doesn't make it back to pit lane, that's a yellow. But I wonder what the scoring would be like if I'm the only car on the lead lap, because that's kind of what it's looking like right now. Looks like 10 or 11 to go. This might get surprisingly close on fuel. Holy shit. Just looking at the math behind this, it's tight. But we literally only need a splash. Oh yeah, we should be good. I'm an idiot. More people are pitting. Maybe whatever the default setup is that the AI have, the gearing is too high. RPMs run too high. They burn too much fuel. Tires are just starting to wear now with 6 to go. We've caught Greg Biffle here. We could probably coast behind the 16 to the end of the race. Now, you know what? We might not need to. But we will. Six to go, it looks like. See how much fuel we save in the draft. We're saving a lot. Holy shit. No, I'm not pitting. Sorry. It's starting to bitch at me again. I think at this point we're pretty good. Three to go. Punch it now because Harvick is flying up behind us. Don't know if he's for position or not. I don't think so. And he pulls in behind Biffle. Not sure why. Harvick's a lap down. Yeah, that's probably it. I'll check here at the standings. Yeah, definitely a lap down. There are 2 cars on the lead lap right now. That's amazing. That is completely amazing. We're actually going to get done at a decent time, too. Not even 2 a.m. yet. Good. White flag in the air for us. Giving us a fuel tank almost empty warning. We're going to cross the line with like less than a gallon of gas left. That's kind of amazing. Yeah, Harvick is a lap down. There are 2 cars on the lead lap. We stretched the field pretty well. I kind of had to, like, the lightning challenges in this game teach you how to save fuel. And I know that the draft is like a major deal to save fuel in this. So during the boring parts of the race where we sat behind those cars forever, that was actually a massive deal. So, full distance Pepsi 400, we're going to come home with the win. With like 0.7 gallons left in the tank. Lay off the gas, and we got it. Wow. It's going to show our various highlights here. This was that accident that we got in where everyone just like randomly checked up. Never seen that before in this. Got a bit of nose damage from that. Fix the nose damage, though. Well, the moon's... Oh, no, the moon's in the right place. Never mind. And then the win. That's pretty cool, man. I've always liked how this game would save your highlights throughout the race. It's a nice little touch. This is when we were running in that second pack, I think. God, this game looks good. Again, that wreck. Don't even know what Dale was braking for. It's odd. This game would have been sweet online. I would have really liked to try like the draft physics in this. All right, let's go celebrate. And of course I got a call from Ian right as we finish. Swipe up to dismiss. I'm streaming, my man. Yeah, I saw this victory lane sequence a billion times when I was younger. It was fun shit, man. Just like the level of detail and polish in this game, I can't get over it. It's just awesome. So we have lapped the whole field. Bobby Labonte is the only car left on the lead lap. Let's go check out the race stats here. This is always fun to look at. 2 cars on the lead lap. 23 lead changes is pretty good. Average speed 185 miles an hour. Margin of victory 35 seconds. Time of the race we got done in just over 2 hours, which is really, really good. We only had 32 laps led because we hung out in the middle of the pack and saved gas, which was obviously quite important. Bobby Labonte, 102 laps led. Kevin Harvick, 4 laps led. Craven, 5 laps led. Kurt Busch led 2. We had Michael Waltrip during what appears to be pit stops cycling. Get a lap led in there. So who retired from this race? We had Todd Bodine must have blown up. Only 23 laps completed. Jeff Purvis, one of the Busch cars that entered the race, blew up on lap 63. Tony Stewart, our pole sitter, blew up. Lap 66, so a couple of engine expirations. And then as we drove by, John Andretti blew up. Or you know what, he must have got that shit fixed. Because he had some white smoke, but he was still driving around when we passed him. So he must have come out after spending time in the pits. Stewart with 14 laps led as well. And then Biffle appears to be the last car running at finish. Finishing 39. So we had a lot of cars still running at the end of it. No yellows, caution free. Again, the biggest choke wasn't really a choke, but a mechanical failure. Tony Stewart starts on the pole. He's going to finish way at the back of the pack. We started 12th, finished first. That was a fun little race, guys. Anyways, thanks for coming out. I'm going to watch the chat afterwards, have some fun with it. You guys should probably get going to bed. It's 1:38 a.m. And I will see you again. Soon, eventually, probably. So take care, guys. Thanks for coming to hang out and watching some NASCAR Thunder.